Hi, welcome back to the Ruckus Feature Explainer series. I'm Terry Henry. Continuing on with our What's New in ICX 8.0.80 code. Today we're going to talk about self-authenticated upgrade licensing, or what you probably know as trust-based licensing. So in the past, in order to add a license, whether it be a ports on demand license or maybe a layer 3 premium license, you had to get the license ID from the switch, get your authorization code, go to the support site, generate a license file, then you take that license file and TFTP it to the switch in order to enable that license. So that was a time-consuming process, and there was lots of times where maybe you just wanted to try out a license in the lab, or you RMA'd a switch and you needed to move that license over, or you had many switches to deploy. That took you a long time. So we've gone to this self-authenticating upgrade licensing, and it's just a matter of agreeing that that you are complying to the license agreement and you've purchased the license, and it'll be added. So it takes a job that used to take 10 minutes per switch or so, and it takes 30 seconds. So if you're deploying 100 switches, it certainly takes a lot of a delay out of your implementation. So let's have a look at how that works. So here we have a 7250. So these self-authenticated upgrade licenses were available for the 7150 and the 7650 for a while, but the other models of 7250, 7450, 7750 use the old licensing model until this version of code 8080, right? And so if I do a show license on this switch, you'll see I have nothing installed, right? It's layer 3 base, which comes with the switch, no premium licenses, and no 10 gig licenses. So there's no licenses installed in the switch. So if I want to add a license, I just do a license install perpetual. There might be additional options added one day in the future, but the unit ID in the stack, right? So you can have a stack of up to 12, but in this case I'm unit 1. I'm not in a stack. And then the license I want to add. So this changes with the model, of course, right? On the 7250, you got a 2-port 10 gig, an 8-port 10 gig, and a layer 3 premium. But depending on the model, those will be different. So we'll add the 2-port 10 gig. And then it's going to say, here's where you find the end user license agreement. Do you agree to this? And if you just want to evaluate it, you can use it for 45 days, and then you've got to purchase a license or delete this one that you're about to install. So we just have to agree to that, say yes, and then it tells you again where to find that license agreement, just to make sure that you read it. So now if we do a show license, we'll see the 2x10 gig, so it's still layer 3 base, 2x10 gig, and 2 ports of 10 gig are now licensed, right? And so we could continue on, add the 8-port 10 gig. On the 7250, you needed the 2-port before the 8-port. So we'll add the 8-port. Again, ask you about the license. And lastly, we'll add that layer 3 premium license. So again, if I do a show license, I now see I'm licensed for layer 3 premium, 8 ports of 10 gig, yes for layer 3 premium, and then 10 gig ports 8. And the other way to see which licenses are installed is with a show version, of course. So under the show version here, we again, under current license, it says layer 3 premium 8x10 gig. So we can see that I have all 3 of those licenses installed. And, just as easily, if I wanted to remove a license, I can do license delete, perpetual, unit number, and then which licenses I want to remove. So I could remove, say, L3-prem. It's saying your license configurations are going to be lost, right? So anything related to that will be lost. But we'll say yes. And it says you may need to do a reload, right? Because some of your license features will require a reload to remove them. So things like OSPF, for example, or BGP in the case of this layer 3 premium license. So now if I do a show license, I now see I'm back to layer 3 base. So easy as that, right? So if I need to RMA a switch, I get the new switch, I plug it in, I agree to the license, and off I go. Or, if I'm installing many switches at once, I don't have to, take that time to go to the support site and generate those licenses. So this is a long time coming, but here we are, and we'll have it from now on. So just saving you a lot of time and making life easier. So that's it, and join me next time for more features on 8080. Thanks very much, and have a great day. Take care.